Wait, can you hear me?
This call is recorded.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Second, we get in the car. Well, a week has gone by since the last podcast, and
Yep.
a lot's happened. That's all I can say.
A lot has happened.
So, where to begin? Should we begin with the? So there's, at least for me personally, there's two stories I want to talk about. Is first, of course, the UPS one, and two, my complaint about a friendship. So,
So let's get the UPS out of the way.
yep.
Because there's a lot to unpack with that one. I'm excited to hear what happened with the friend. You already know how I felt about them. There was a little competition that they did not know about. And I just like to state that I came out on top.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, okay, let's start with the UPS. So
Wait, is it supposed to rain today?
I don't know. I don't ever look at the weather. I mean, it looks like it's about to rain.
But like it said, there's 0% precipitation today. Oh well.
Well, so you heard. I had to humble self and go to UPS, as we said last week. And well, the first day, because I think we recorded the day before I was going to do the orientation. So
Yeah.
I wake up at the orientation's at 5. So I wake up early, wake up at like 3 a.m. And do all my stuff, drive all the way there. It's like in Virginia Beach. It's in this like warehouse in Virginia Beach. So I drive there. I walk in, like I'm walking around. I'm like, where that? Like I'm expecting like there's gonna be like the manager or something at the door. I don't even know where the door is. There's just these big open, like, where the trucks drive in. So I'm like, where the heck do I go?
Yeah.
So I just walk in. I see some people like out and about, and obviously they're just workers. So I'm like, what the heck? So at one point, one person just tells me like, oh, just stay there. So then I see these people, this guy, he's like with maybe 4 other people, and they look kind of new. So they start doing exercise, like stretching and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to do some stretches. So they're doing like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all these different stretches. And I'm doing it with them. And then they finish and they just start walking away. I'm like, what the heck? Where do I go? So then I'm walking with the guy, and then some lady stops me. He's like, no, just wait right there. So I'm like, what the heck did I do? I just sat there for no reason doing these stretches. I look stupid. So then finally the supervisor or something comes in. He's like, oh, hey, I guess I'm the supervisor person. Like the real person who's supposed to usually do these orientations, he wasn't there this week. I guess he's on vacation or something. So he's doing it. So, he just gives a little short talk about basically nothing. And then we go into this little room to watch some videos. And apparently one of the other people, there's the one dude who, like, he's done warehouse jobs before, but he's never been at UPS. And then one dude who has done UPS during peak season, which is, of course, like that Christmas season.
Yeah.
So, like, during peak season, you're paid more. And, they hire a bunch of people because, there's so many freaking packages happening. But usually it's kind of temporary for those people. So he said he was looking for a job this whole time for UPS. He finally saw it, happened to see it, and exactly what happened with you. The moment he applied, it disappeared. So it must be all of us applied at the same time. And that was all. They were just like, oh, that's all. We only need 3 people.
You told me the day after you applied or whatever, or like a few days, I go online and there's literally nothing. Like, there's even in the state of Virginia, there's nothing.
That's the thing that was crazy to, like, when I was, because I just happened to, I'm glad I picked UPS, because at one point I was, because I couldn't find anything. What you say?
I said, oh, you are glad you chose UPS.
Well, I'm glad, like, that, like, out of like my option that was about to happen. I was like, because like you said, I was looking everywhere. I couldn't find any Amazon jobs anywhere. I thought Amazon was supposed to be like, like if you can't find a job, work at Amazon warehouse. So they'll find something. But nope, there's nothing.
You know what's crazy? Like, just a quick pause. When I worked at Amazon back in 2020, there was nothing online. I literally drove up to the warehouse, just found somebody, said, dude, I want a job here. And like, that's literally how I got started at Amazon. So
I
how
wonder
many
if you
have to
could
do
do
the same
that.
thing with UPS?
I wonder. Because they don't seem like they're organized at all, which I'll get to. So it could be
Yes.
they'll just be like, yo, you might as well. Because my first day felt kind of weird how that worked. But anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, I was applying. I was looking for Amazon. Couldn't find it. I was looking for Walmart. I couldn't find any Walmart jobs. I thought Walmart's like, they're the biggest employer and they take anyone. I couldn't find Walmart jobs. And the jobs I could find, they required experience. Like I saw a cake decorator. It's like, oh, you need like 2 years of experience in cake decoration. I'm like, what the heck? So I almost applied to an Amazon warehouse job. I think I said this to you. All the way in like some place called like Sweetersburg or something like close to West Virginia. I forgot what it was called. It's like Pencilburg or something. Where I was like, what the heck? I've never even heard this city. And it's all the way in West Virginia. So it's going to be a 3-hour drive. So I was like, there's no way I could just drive there and drive back. So I would have to like sleep in my car. And it was one of those jobs where I applied. They instantly said, come in and interview the next day. So I was going to it was going to be that Wednesday where I was going to go and do the go to freaking random part of Virginia to find any job. But then I was like, something, I don't know what, but I was like, you know what, let me look at UPS. Because I guess I was in the warehouse thought process. Because I was like, this is going to suck. I'm going to have to live in my car, this. And then I looked at UPS. I just saw that one job and I applied and luckily got it. Because I was like, I don't know, in that alternate reality where I was going all the way to Amazon, I probably would be just pissed at all times of the day. Especially sleeping in the car I don't know what would happen.
I would text you, hey Jabari, what do you want?
No, you wouldn't even get an answer. You would think I'm dead. Everyone would just think I'm dead because I would just stop talking to everything at that point. But luckily, that's why I only say luckily with the UPS. But anyway, so back to orientation. We watched some freaking videos, and it was just a video about what do they call it? Those ones that are like toxic packages. What's it called?
Hazardous.
Not hazardous. There's like a word for that specific type of package. It's like yellow. They have like a yellow symbol. Not freaking nuclear or whatever, or freaking but is it hazmat? Hazmat stuff? Whatever.
Hazardous.
There's like a specific word that I've heard of. I've heard in games, of course, but I forgot what the word is. But let's just say hazmat. It was like a hazmat of packages. So, it's just a 1990s freaking video about hazmat that really said nothing. Just say, hey, if there are these hazards, if something's leaking, don't touch it. If this. And we had to do a little quiz. And the supervisor, when he told us to do a quiz, he was like, oh, it doesn't matter kind of thing. But, we were doing the quiz. We were helping each other out. All the three of us were helping each other out. And then he comes in and he just says, okay, here are the answers. The answer for 1 is B, the answer for 2 is C. So I'm like, oh, so the quiz literally didn't matter. I didn't even have to circle anything.
Yeah.
And then there were other papers, but it seemed like he just didn't want to be bothered with it. Like he was just ready to finish this up. So there were other things that we were supposed to do, but he just said the answers. He's like, okay, for this paper, let's just circle A, then B, then C, then D, and blah, 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 blah. Then he said for this one, just A, B, blah, blah, blah. Where we didn't even watch videos for it. So I'm like, what the heck is this? So I'm like, okay, maybe he wants to get ready with training already. Because I think this is his first time doing an orientation too, since the other guy was out.
Right.
But nope, that was it. Then we're out. He's just like, okay, something. And then we're walking out. So now it's like we were only there for 40 minutes. So I'm like, what the heck? So I don't know what to do with the day. So then that's when I finally had the idea. I was like, okay, I'll just go to the gym after every time. So I'll just get ripped.
Yeah.
Because my whole point now, my whole purpose is just to make people regret. So I'm like, okay, let me get ripped as a mess. But then,
Yeah.
But then, after the gym, of course, go home, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, wait a minute. They never told me, what we're doing, though. We just did the orientation and he said, okay, you guys can leave. So I'm like, what the heck? So I'm assuming because there was that one email that also said oh, orientation's at 5 a.m. The email also said okay, your time will be Tuesday to Saturday from 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. would have been insane. I would have quit. But 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. So I was like, okay, I guess I got to get there by 3 a.m. So let me get there early because I remember the supervisor who was doing orientation said, like, the thing that pisses them off is if you're late. So I was like, okay, let me not be late. Let me get there early. So I get there 15 minutes early, a nice time. So I'm waiting. I'm drinking my Monster. Look, drink, waiting. I'm like, weird. There's literally no cars here. Literally none in the parking lot. Like and then all I see are some people like in the warehouse walking around. They seem like they're drivers or something. Like sometimes they mess with the car or with the trucks. Sometimes they walk back in. Something. So I'm like, what the heck's happening? So I wait. It hits 3 a.m. So I'm like, okay, let me just walk in. Like maybe I'm just one of the early people because I'm new. So let me just walk into the warehouse, which is interesting that they never close those doors. So like if you wanted to go into that UPS warehouse and just mess with stuff, you can just walk in. No one stopped me. There's no security. There's nothing. So anyone could just walk. Like if I was, say, a terrorist or something, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to mess up the UPS here, I could just walk in. But anyway, I walk in. I don't see anyone. I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? So I'm like, I probably look suspicious because I'm the new guy. This is literally like, no one knows me. I don't want to like, make anyone like think I'm some hooligan teen or something. So I walk back out into my car and I'm a little confused. So I'm like waiting for at least more cars to show up so I can like follow someone and ask them what's going on. So, 3:10 passes, 3:20 passes. I'm like, what the heck's happening? So then 3:30 passes, I get a lone text that says, good morning, no work today. So I'm like, what the heck? Good morning, no work today. I drove all the way here, at 3 a.m. And you tell me now that there's no work. So I'm trying to be polite. And I say, like, I give a little message and say, hey, thanks for letting me know. I was a little confused when I came here and there were no cars around. Is there a way to know this ahead of time? Because I was a little confused when I came in. And no message was sent back. So I was like, okay.
You know what's crazy about that?
What?
It honestly seems like your supervisor, like, just looked at the message and was like, oh, yeah, whatever. And and then they just like went back to sleep.
See, that's what I thought. I was like, okay, maybe they just went back to sleep. Maybe they last minute realized that, oh, there's a new guy. Let me send him a message and then go back to sleep.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was giving them the benefit of doubt. So that day, what did I do that day? I don't even remember I don't remember what I did.
So was this the first day that they?
Yeah, this was the first day. So I don't remember what I did on the first day, like to pass the time because I wasn't going back to sleep. I know I went to the gym, but I must have done something before that, right?
Not from the messages you texted me, and if you did, I just didn't know. But you didn't tell me.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just say I went to the gym. I went to the gym that day. So then, a day passes. It's the next day. So I'm like, okay, surely, because I'm kind of brushing past that one instant. I'm like, okay, now let me wake up early. Let me get to work early. I don't want to cause any drama or whatever, and be late on my first day because now.
Rightfully so.
So I get there again, 15 minutes early. And I'm like, there's no cars here again. It's kind of weird. So it's the same thing happens. I only see these like couple people walking around the trucks, maybe occasionally drive it, and then walk back into the place and stuff. It's like, this is weird. So I walk back into the warehouse again, second day. I see no one. It's a complete repeat. I see no one. So then I walk back into my car. And then I wait again. I see some people come in, but they look kind of like they don't look like supervisors. That's all I can say. Like you can kind of get a feeling if there's a supervisor. So I'm like, these seem like regular workers. And because of what happened the other day, I'm like, I bet a mess is about to come. So I wait. I see the big trucks come in, that carry, I guess, stuff from across the country. Those 18-wheelers. So they drive in, blah, 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 blah. 3:30 passes. I get a message. Good morning. No work today. Again. I'm like, what the heck? So not only is it like she tells me late again, but like there was a message about that. So I know she saw it. Because, if you're on iPhone, because it was a blue message thing. So if you're on iPhone, you see the message. You see that big message that I typed. before you type good morning,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, she's just purposely ignoring this. And then I start getting suspicious. I'm going to paranoia mode. I'm like, okay, what if this isn't even my supervisor? Because this is different from the orientation guide. So I'm like, what if this isn't even my supervisor? What if this is some weird trick? Or like, say someone else is trying to get me to quit or something because they don't want new workers or something like that. So I'm like, I don't even know who this person is. They never said who their name is. They just said they're tacky. So I'm like, okay, I don't know who this tacky person is. So I was like, okay, let me go into the employee portal and look up who my supervisor is. I go on the employee portal. I see someone named Paculin. So I'm like, okay, Paculin does add up, but their numbers are different. Like my supervisor from my on there was like a New Jersey area code, and then the one texting me was, of course, a Hampton Roads area code. So I'm like, okay, let me send an email. So I send this professional email saying, hey, I explain everything like, hey, I've been getting this message from a different person or a different
Very
number
long
than
email,
yours.
by the way.
Yeah, very long, very professional. I'm trying to be the best person I can be. I'm like, hey, the issue is that I come in to work at 3 a.m. like my thing tells me, but I never see any cars in the parking lot. I never like see my supervisor, and I just get a message that says, good morning, no work. And I was like, oh, like is there a procedure to know about this ahead of time? Because it sucks that I'm wasting gas money and time waking up and then coming all the way to Virginia Beach just to be told 30 minutes after my start time was supposed to happen that there's no work. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And the crazy part is how you're wasting your gas and gas money, right? When you don't have a job already.
Exactly.
Right? Like when you're just starting. So it's like, dude, I'm expending the only resource that I have, like the last bit of my resource. Please let me know.
So it's like, it's just the courtesy of like, I was like even saying like, okay, what if that supervisor says, I can only tell you like, this is a very quick kind of thing. So I can only tell you 30 minutes before. I would prefer 30 minutes before than to know like after I already drove that distance. So
Precisely.
like, I'd rather wake up about to get in the car and know. And be like, oh, I just woke up for no reason. Then drive all the way there too. And then, of course, I lock myself out every time because I'm like, okay, I need to, I just want to keep the doors locked or whatever when I leave out and I don't have my own key. But anyway, so I'm like waiting for this message to happen or this reply back. And then, ironically, the reply back happens pretty quickly. Like around 4 o'clock or something, 4 something, I get a reply back that just says, you can text me at this phone number. What is the phone number? The same phone number that was texting me before that says good morning, no, and I already sent that long message. So that means she's just playing around at this point. So like I'm trying to think of what to do at this point because I'm getting, of course, a little pissed. Because I'm like, at this point, this person's purposely doing this. It's not like an accident. It's a purposeful thing. So I go, this is the only moment of like where I did something to pass the time because it's now 4 a.m. Like, what can you do in Hampton Roads at 4 a.m.? So I drive to the beach. I pay for freaking parking because I was driving around for a while to try to find free parking. I couldn't find any. That's crazy. There's no free parking in that whole freaking beach area. But
if you would have told me, like at that time, I would have given you a place to go park for free.
Dang.
Unironically. I mean, out of the string of text messages that you sent me, mind you guys, I'm telling the listeners right now, Jabari wakes me up at 4 a.m. every freaking morning now, whether he's at work or not. I just get a string of messages.
Only when
it's insanity. Vibrations.
It's insanity.
Jabari,
I need to tell
every morning. Every morning
has been insane. Every morning has been insane.
So every single morning. So I remember one time I was like, my sister and I, we fell asleep. It's just constant vibrations. She said, Deontay, I don't know who that is, but please tell them to stop texting. And I'm like, yeah, like who the fuck is texting me this? And I see you, I'm like, oh no, he's going through it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Just go back to sleep.
Because it's insanity. Like where I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to be a good worker. I'm trying to be like, a good person. I'm trying to humble myself and be like, okay, you know what? There's nothing I can do. there's no point trying to get mad over it. At least I was able to find this UPS job. Let me try to be a good person. Blah 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 blah. Then crap happens where I wake up at 3 a.m. I'm like, okay, maybe maybe it's them. Maybe they can't really it's just as a shock to them. So let me try to tell them that this. But nope, it never matters. It never matters. That's the moral of life, I guess, is that nothing ever matters. So anyway, I drive to the beach. I pay for my parking. Luckily, it wasn't too expensive. It wasn't really expensive at all, actually. I think it cost like $4 because it was $2 an hour or something. Yeah, $2 an hour, and I only stayed for 2 hours, so $4. So not expensive at all. I mean, I'd still rather have it free, but still, it wasn't expensive at all.
Of course.
So I walk on the boardwalk. I'm just walking, kind of like listening to my sad tunes, just walking to walk. I'm like, you know what? Apparently the sunrise is about to happen soon, around 6, so I might as well sit and look at the sunrise, because I've never seen the sunrise at all before, like at all. Like I woke up where the sun was rising, but I only saw the clouds change color. I've never seen the sun itself rise. So I sit on a bench. I see some homeless people, so that kind of humbled me too, because I was like, that could be me. That could have been me. So
yeah.
And I'm like sitting there waiting for the sun to rise. And it's interesting seeing the sun, because it's like I don't know, it's like a test of patience and a test of you're just seeing stuff slowly happen. Where it builds up. It's a build up, almost like a performance. Where you're just slowly seeing the sky turn different. And I'm getting ready for it. I'm like, oh man, this is actually kind of interesting how it's building up. But then a cockroach walks by me, a big freaking cockroach. So I'm like, okay. I stayed calm. I got up and I moved as far away as possible. And I went to the beach, where the water is, or where the sand was, like where the railings were. Basically, the same railings where I hate my life.
Yeah.
I went there and just sat there and waited for the sun to rise, and it was cool. I will say, seeing the sun slowly rise. I didn't know that it was going to literally slowly rise, as if it's I don't know, it seemed like a video game almost. So, I mean, that was cool.
You know what I appreciate about mornings such as that? I've had mornings similar, not in the same regards, but because the season that we're in, Jabari, you and I are pretty much living, there are differences within our situation, but you're the only person that's living in the same situation as me,
Mm-hmm.
And those mornings, where it's just everything is just what's the absolute fuck,
Mm-hmm.
You find so much beauty and peace, humbleness. You really start to sit and think, my life is yeah, I'm in a shitty part right now, but it's not that bad. It could be worse. I could be living with cockroaches. I could be homeless. I could not have a car to even get to and from work. I could not have a car and be homeless. Those mornings are they bring so much peace. I have to admit, they really do.
Yeah, I am very glad I had that more. I'm not glad that happened, or that it was supposed to happen, it happened, but I am glad that I was able to witness that, because that made it not better, but it made it pretty, I guess. Or oh wow, the world could be a pretty place if it weren't for people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a humbling moment, blah, 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 blah. So then after that, I drove to the gym, blah, 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 blah. And then I went to sleep. I went home, went to sleep. And then I woke up, and I was I guess it was probably a combination of everything. I was like, okay, you know what? And I'm talking to ChatGPT too and all this. I'm like, okay, I will give this person one last chance. If not, I'm just going to quit, because obviously, this is a red herring, a red flag of how these supervisors are going to be. I'm going to give one last chance. So at 7 p.m., I sent a text and said, hey, you've been telling me this stuff a little bit late. I cannot keep coming to work at 3 a.m., driving all the way there, waking up, driving all the way there for you to tell me this stuff late. So can you please try to tell me around 12 p.m., around midnight, if I am to go to work or not today? Just tell me around midnight, please, kind of thing, blah, 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 blah. So then I went to sleep again. I woke up at midnight. What do I see?
This call will be recorded.
Do you mind?
I'm listening.
So then I went to sleep, woke up at midnight. What do I see, Beyonce? I see nothing. I see nothing. So I'm like, and I said in the message, like, if I do not get any message by midnight, I'm just not going to come. Because I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it a third time. There's a 3 strikeout rule with me. So after that third time, and I saw nothing, I went back to sleep, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm just going to quit tomorrow. Or quit in the morning when I wake up. Because this is insane. But then I wake up around, let's just say around 6 a.m. And I see, no. I woke up from the message. That was it. So I wake up, I see my phone vibrate. And I see, good morning, no work today. But this time, I see it at 4:30. So that means now she's making it like she's being passive aggressive, purposely trying to be annoying, purposely like, trying to like, what, I don't know what the word is, like, like be a, not be dominant, but like she's just purposely trying to abuse her power kind of thing, or like, because she's supervisor, and be like, oh, you dare ask me something? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you late now. So now she tells me there's no work at 4:30, an hour and 30 minutes after work is supposed to start. So imagine like that was my first day, and I'm waiting, and then an hour and 30 minutes for her to tell me. So she's like, she took it to a personal level, and then that's when I broke, where I was like, you want to play that game? I gave you an out. You could have just been nice. That's the thing, I think, moral of my whole life. I do not like when anyone, I don't care how big, how strong, how much authority you have, I will not allow you to think that you can disrespect me with no consequence. Like you think like, oh, like
Jabari,
I'm okay with people looking down on me or
I
misinterpreting
respect
me.
that.
Yeah, but don't ever think you can disrespect me, like purposely disrespect me, like as if you're bigger than me or better than me. So then when I saw that, I
want the viewers to know that you are 100%, like, you mean that. Since I've known you, we've known each other 18 years. I've never once seen you be disrespected by someone and just even let it slide. Even if like being the bigger person was like the route you should have taken just by letting it slide or whatever, you don't at all. You really don't do disrespect.
But maybe it's some type of like insecurity, like especially because with the height or with the voice or with the instance or whatever. But there's something about it, like even if, no offense, my parents too, like if I don't like when people think that like they could just disrespect for no reason. Like where I'm like, I wasn't even trying to be mean or be like rude or do anything to you, but just because you're having a bad day or you're just mad, or maybe I accidentally said something that you don't like with the supervisor, well, I did nothing to her. I was trying to take the right route each time, and then suddenly now she thinks like, okay, well, I'm just gonna blah 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 blah. So I was like, okay, you took that step, now I'm gonna drop a nuke. Like, see, that's how it works with me. Like, you could, like, once you take that one step across the line, I'm going to another continent level across the line. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to CC her manager, because I'm looking on the employee portal. I'm looking for anything I can't find. I found her manager's email. I found his manager's email.
Yeah.
I found the manager's email all the way up to the CEO. So I had 5 CCs from her, and I put her in the CC too. I'm like, I'm gonna let you see what I'm doing too. So I put like 6 CCs, and I explained everything. I explained the timing. I put pictures of the text of the email. I explained why this was disrespectful. I explained why she should get reprimanded for it. I explained why she needs to be looked at for this. I explained her possible thinking. I put everything down and click send. I did not care. Screw that packy. So then I go back to sleep. So that was like around 4 or 5 o'clock when that all happened. I wake up around 7. I get called by HR saying like, we're so sorry this happened. Can you explain what happened again? This. I explain everything, all innocent like, because I purposely wrote the email in a way, not lying, but I wrote it in a way that made her look even worse. Like as if I'm just like, which I am, but I'm manipulating the words to make it sound even worse for her. Where I'm like, I'm just trying to do the best I can, do this work, and blah 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 blah. So when they call me, I'm putting on the innocent voice. Like let me put it. I'm like, yeah. So I was going to work, and that's it. Like, I'm doing this very soft voice, making sure all the lines are played. That this is going to be the last time she does some crap like that. So the HR's like, oh, we're so sorry
Yeah.
about that. We're so sorry, blah, 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 blah. And then she hangs up. And then 2 hours later after that, now that manager from Norfolk, her manager's manager, he calls me. He's like, we're so sorry about what happened. Her manager or whatever, he's out for vacation right now. And, he's coming back on Monday or whatever. And he'll handle this, What I want you to do tomorrow, you just go to work at around, go to work in like 4:30 or something like that. And someone will come and take care of you and like give you accurate timetables and this and that and that. I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I don't know what's happening with her, but all I know is she's in trouble. She is in trouble. And I'll add to that later when I talk about the first day, because it's a coincidence that this happened. So, dang, wait a second. I need to turn on the car. It's hot. Okay. So then my first day of work, I go in at 4:30 or whatever. At least there are cars. I see cars this time. It's still not as many as I would have thought there would be, but I do see cars. So I walk in. I'm a little confused, but this time, because that one guy told me, someone's going to be there to help you out or whatever. So I don't care that there's like not as many people. I still walk towards like the office area of the warehouse, assuming that someone's going to stop me. So I go there and I see someone, and he because it was kind of like, it's as if they knew. Of course, they probably told the supervisor. But I'm like, dang, I hope I didn't like create some type of enemies with the like maybe they're in some big pack for supervisors. Because he's like, name? I'm like, Jabari. He's like, oh, well, she'll take care of it. So it was all quick. I'm like, dang, maybe I messed up. I'm like, maybe I still need to quit. So then the lady, she helps walk me somewhere, because she wasn't a supervisor, I don't think. Because I was scared. I was like, is this the person I just fired? I don't think it was. But she walks me up, and it's just like, okay, what you need to do is you'll have another person help you with this, but you just need to move the box here and move it to there. That's it. It's that easy. I was like, is there any way to mess this up? She's like, no, it's an easy job. And then walks off. I'm like, what the heck? Like, I thought I was going to get trained or something. Like, not just instantly put me on the job. So I'm like kind of waiting there, confused. And then this one lady comes, and she's like, oh, are you new? I was like, yeah. And then another dude comes, and he's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Are you new? I was like, yeah. And I was like asking, like, how do I do this? He's like, oh, stuff are going to come. You just got to pick it up, move to this side. So, like, you just got to cross the gap, basically. There's going to be a gap that you have to pick it up. And he's like, you'll just release the boxes. So I was like, okay. And, he's making some small talk, talking about, like, the company and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of a-holes here. So, keep to yourself. The other lady, she's like, yeah, there's a lot. I'm like, dang. And I was like, I wanted to say, oh, I know one. But I was like, I need to just not let anyone know it's me. Just in case. I'm like, I don't know who's friends with who, and like, what type of drama this starts. So I was just going to be quiet. And like, they're going back and forth about, how some of the managers get mad at them for no reason or tell them to be quicker. And they're telling me that, like, sometimes managers are going to come to you and tell you, go quick. And, you just got to let it, ignore that. And he was saying like, oh, have you been in sports? I was like, oh, it's in football. And I messed up. I lied a little bit because I forgot. I forgot. But I said only in high school. It's as if I was a high school football player. No, I was middle school, which is way later. But I just said, oh, only in high school. But he was like, okay, well, this is going to be a lot like your football training, like, like when the coach is yelling over you when you're doing your exercises and stuff like that. He's like, that's how the managers are going to be. And when they come, they're going to be watching you. Just try to ignore them. Just keep doing your work, kind of thing. So he's telling me all the like the inner stuff, the typical like, the veteran at the company and stuff like that, telling me all the ropes and stuff. Yeah. So then, while they were talking about, this is the part I thought was very big coincidence. When they were talking about the managers, like, they're each telling each other, because, the conversation started between them. I made sure to stay quiet the whole time. But, they were talking about certain managers. And you know who they brought up? They were like, oh, there's, Packy. Packy always gets on me. You could tell when someone has issues. Like, she's taking out her problems on me and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, wait a minute. That's the same one. At least I'm pretty sure I heard Packy. So I'm like, okay, dang. Maybe I did a good thing. I wanted to almost go like, well, you know what? She might not be here anymore. But no, I was like, let me just stay quiet. Let me not cause any attention to myself. because anytime attention comes towards me, it's always bad. So I was like, let me just stay quiet. So then after that small conversation, the what do you call those? The assembly line, whatever thing starts turning. And I see my first box. And what comes out is like a big bag. It's like a leather kind of bag full of boxes. So I don't know, like maybe in the trucks or something, they just stuff the boxes they need to ship into this big bag. So then they can sort it later, which makes sense. You're not gonna have all the boxes like on their own. So all I had to do, I had to pick up the bag, move it to the other side, and then take out the boxes, kind of thing. So then the sorter lady can, put them in the right position and scan them or something. I'm not sure what she did, because I wasn't like looking at her what she did the whole time because it got busy. That's all I could say. So then, I'm doing it. They're kind of heavy, but it doesn't seem too bad. And that's when I sent that text where I was like, oh, this is easy. It seems like a robot could be able to do this. So I pick up the next box, put it down, take out the thing. And he's like, hey, you might not want to do that, because I'm like picking it up, carrying it, and moving it. He's like, you're just going to have to want to fling it. And I'm like, oh, I didn't want to like mess up the boxes or something. And he's like, oh, don't even worry about that. So if you see stuff that are broken, like people always blame like the UPS driver. It's happening in that warehouse. Cause
they do not give
I'm flinging those boxes, because once it gets heavy, I'm like, I do not care what's in there. It needs to get out. But anyway, so he's like, you need to just pick it up and swing it there and then just dump it. Just dump it all so you can get it out as quickly as possible. Because he's like, that stuff, like the things that the managers want to see, they want to see this, where the line that's coming up, it can start to back up if you're getting too slow. And, even if it like widens out, like let's say you can, in this one area, there could be like maybe around let's say 10 of these boxes. And then there's a line, assembly line of other boxes that come down. So that whole thing could get packed up with like, say 20 of these things. And he said like, the managers will come up and be like, hey, we're at 100% capacity. We're at 75% capacity. You need to speed up, kind of thing. Because I guess they can't put more bags on if it gets too backed up, if you're too slow.
Yeah.
So at first I'm like, oh, this is easy. I'm just doing it. Like, it's a little bit tiring, but it's a little easy. But then I look at the clock, only 30 minutes passed. And I start doing the math. I'm like, wait a minute, I have 5 more hours of this. But I'm like, if it's at this pace, I could probably do it. It's a little tiring. And the guy's telling me, like, hey, while you're doing this, it's going to get tiring and it's going to get annoying, because you'll have other employees who will, like, they'll waste time because their arms are tired, or they're tired of doing this. Like, they'll start stuffing bags, or they'll start taking bathroom breaks more. Or like you'll look to the side, they're going really slow, or they're walking around randomly. So I'm like, oh, I can see that definitely happen. And ironically, he did that. He was just talking about himself. I was like, sometimes I'm putting these bags, and I see him putting the bags away, the bags that the boxes are in. I'm like, I need help picking these things up. Like, where are you going? Like, he was still a nice guy, but it's just ironic that he was doing some of the stuff he was talking about. So then after a while, like maybe around an hour in, it started picking up, Deontay. Like, where it just never stopped. Like, I'm picking up bag, put it down. Pick up bag, put it down, pull the boxes out. Pick up bag, pull it down. And I look, more coming in. Like, it never stopped. The line was starting to pick up and starting to back down. So, like, you had to just constantly do it. And, I'm trying to, like, not get in trouble or not be a bad employee. So I'm like, my arms are starting to hurt. My wrists are starting to hurt like crazy. I'm starting to get cuts on my hands because, like, the bags are like this weird texture. So, like, when you're grabbing it, your hand will like slide on it. You'll get like carpet burn kind of thing. So I'm getting like carpet burn. My wrists are hurting. I'm getting paper cuts somehow. And I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? So it started getting so backed up, they got a third guy to come in. And the third guy, he taught me the even better technique. He's like, oh, you don't want to do that. You need to just like, when you're picking it up, you need to like roll them out as you're picking them up, basically. Like, so they all fall out at like dumping out in a constant motion. So I'm doing that, and it's picking up. And then suddenly, that other guy, the first guy, leaves. I don't know what he did. Like, I think they moved him to another job or something, or I don't know what he did, where he went. But he's gone. So I'm like, what the
Yeah.
heck? So it's only 2 of us now. It's backing up. It's backing up. And you know, like, say within like 3 hours, I'm already tired from the past 3 hours. And it's backing up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the heck? Where is this guy? And then that guy leaves. The second guy leaves. So it's just me now. It's everyone.
Oh, hell.
So I'm by myself trying to go as hard as possible. I see the supervisor come in. He's walking by. I'm seeing him chilling. Like, what is your purpose here? You're just chilling, looking at your phone. And he's getting paid for that, just to chill around for 6 hours to watch us and be like, hey, you need to speed up. But he didn't say I need to speed up because I was going pretty hard the whole time. But still, like, I'm like, what the heck? My arms are hurting like crazy. And I look at the time. Oh, it's only 4 o'clock. Or no, it's not 4 o'clock. I mean, it's only like, let's say it's only 7 o'clock. So I still have 2 hours. And every time,
Yeah.
Deontay, I'll think, surely these boxes are not gonna, like, it's not gonna keep coming. Because I've picked up like thousands of boxes, Deontay. Thousands.
Yeah.
And look, another bag of those boxes are coming down the assembly line. I picked that up. I put it down. I'm like, okay. I look, 3 more bags are coming down the assembly line. I'm like, okay. I look, 5 more bags are coming down. It never stops, Deontay. It never stops. And then, like, say 8 o'clock happens. I'm like, okay, surely it's going to start to slow down because it's about the end of the shift. Nope. It keeps coming all the way until 9. All the way from 3 to 9, Deon, or 4 to 9. It was constant bags. So then I finally work in. I see I go see the supervisor because, you know, my information wasn't even in the system, so I couldn't log my hours, but he did it for me. And, you know, he gave me my time schedule, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, you know what? I'm still going to go to the gym because, you know, I told myself I'm going to keep going to the gym every time after work. So I go to the gym. I start driving. My wrists were in pain. My wrists are still kind of in pain. I can't, like, well, it's getting better actually today now. But, like, say, like, in the morning, like this morning, I couldn't, like, say, you know how you can press a trigger on a controller? You know, your front fingers. I couldn't do that. I couldn't squeeze my fingers. I couldn't even make a fist because my wrists were hurting so much. I mean, I still went to the gym. It definitely hurt. And I put those weights down like crazy. Like I went down to like 10 pounds. Or I only put like, I think I only put 20 pounds on the bench press each.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's embarrassing if someone saw me because it looks like I'm, like, crazy weak. But I don't care. It hurts. They don't know how much I'm in pain. And I'm still trying to do this. So,
Did it remind you of when we were playing football in the weight room?
See, it only reminded me because that's what you say every time, which is not true. Because it's not true. But it reminded me.
I could have sworn I saw that, man.
No,
I could have sworn that's what I saw that day. And I thought to myself, I said, there's no way this is Jabari. There's no freaking way.
I refuse to believe that was what happened. I know what happened. I know at a very minimum, it was 15
I'm not
pounds.
saying the weight. I'm not going to. Wow, that sounds like the maximum. But you know what, Jabari? It's okay. You know what? I'll give you 15 because I saw a 5. I know
it wasn't 5. I know it wasn't 5.
I'm just saying, I saw a 5 on the dumbbell, and I just remember staring at you, and I walked to the other side of the weight room. I said, I'm not going to witness my friend go down like this.
But yep, so that was my first day. It was pain. I'm one thing, like, say if you, like, well, not you, because you probably have, I would hope you have enough stamina for this stuff. I don't know. You might not, because I feel like there's a difference between strength and stamina. Because you could be the strongest person in the world and have a low stamina.
Stamina-wise, there is a limit. It's more than what it was before. You know, like, it's definitely increased recently. I don't know how. But for, like, you know, when you were blowing up my phone that morning, telling me how it all was going, I thought to myself, you know, I say a lot that I'm glad. I mean, I wish Jabari and I, you know, we're doing this together. But I'm now glad that we're not.
We definitely would be talking. If we were both on that, I don't know if they would put us both on the same thing because there seemed like there were a lot of different jobs. Because they were the ones who put it into the truck. And I saw like big stuff there. Like, for example, I was only doing like the boxes that you could fit in a box, a small box. But like, say if someone was transporting like a dresser, that was going from to a different section. So I was doing like the bunches of like different, like for example, I swear I was picking a box up. I heard a bunch of nails, just a box of nails, and that thing was probably like 15 pounds. And there's probably there's other boxes in that bag of boxes. So each of those boxes were probably like 50 to, I'm not even exaggerating, probably like at a maximum 70 pounds. I would say on average is around 50 pounds. So, you're doing that 50 pounds pick up and dump 1,000 times a day. So it's like, what the heck? But yeah, so if we were in the same same position, like if we both got in, there's no way we'd be talking during that. We would just be minding our business, just trying to get the thing done.
I wouldn't even want to talk. I would just stare at you.
Yeah,
and I would just be thinking to myself, this bastard forced me to work here. I would spin the narrative like so much. I would say this little bastard forced me to work here, and this is what I have to deal with.
Oh man, the only thing I could tell, like if someone was listening and they were thinking of being package handler, is that's the only thing I'm slightly glad that person didn't put me in the first day, because those first 3 days I went to the gym instead. And like when you're going to the gym for the first time in a long time, of course you get the muscle strain. But because I went to the gym, I already got that initial muscle strain, like those first couple of days of muscle strain over with.
Yeah.
So when I went to do that first package handling thing, my muscles weren't hurting afterwards. The things that were hurting the most were my hands and my wrist. Like my wrist, like I don't even know why my wrists were hurting like that. Like it still does hurt a little bit. I think because of the flick you have to do when you're picking it up and then dumping it. And it's like, that's like a flick that you don't really do in real life, And then, of course,
it's an unnatural one.
Yeah, and then my hands, like the ripping of my hand, like I got gloves now. I bought gloves on Amazon. I'm not having my hands ripped up again like that. Like I can't even, like you can't even, there's no way to predict that your hands were going to get ripped up by these bags. That's all I could tell someone. You better get gloves and work out before. That's it.
Dude, that actually sounds like torture.
It was because it seemed like the time was slowing. And then it's like at a certain point, like I guess you stop thinking, you become a robot. But it's just like it never stops. Like it's like this job is not a job for a human. I remember seeing that on TikTok, and it's true. It's just not. Like I don't think a robot could do it because the dumping mess ups and stuff. But like this is not made for humans. That was slave labor. I felt my ancestors in there. Like I saw them watching. They're like, dang, we went so far and we're just right back to where we started.
Maybe they were proud of you for that.
Maybe. Oh, that shirt was drenched though with sweat. Oh, and it's a good. Oh yeah, bring water. You gotta bring water because I forgot to bring my water. Luckily, they had water there, like in the refrigerator. But man, because you're just you don't get a break because I think it's too short because you're only working there for 6 hours, so it's too short of the time to give you a 30-minute break. So like the breaks I got were like it's like sometimes the assembly line would stop. I'm not sure why, like rather something breaks or something happens, but the assembly line would stop for like 5 minutes. And that 5 minutes would be my break.
I'm there. Not when I'm there.
So I tried one of those squitchers or whatever they're called. I always hear about those for manual labor jobs, those little freezy pops. They're called like squitchers or something. Those were good. I gotta say that was
I've never heard of those before. I'm gonna have to order one to try.
You see it on TikTok all the time. They're like electrolyte freeze pops.
I'm not on TikTok though, so that's news to me. I'm gonna have to try it.
Yeah, they're like electrolyte freeze pops. I guess Gatorade type freeze pops, but that was good.
Oh, that sounds good.
It was good. Especially like after that, like I am dying, like because everything keeps coming. Where he's just like, I need something. That was good. I could probably eat 5 of those at once. Was there anything else to say about that day? Nothing else. Yeah, then I went to gym. Then I went home and just passed out.
Does
And
your family know yet or not yet?
I think they might, like, I'm assuming just from context clues, because I haven't told them personally. But I'm assuming just from context clues, they probably have an idea that I'm probably doing something. Because I
But they don't know for sure.
Yeah,
'Cause, like it wasn't exclusively like
yeah.
talking
So
with
it
them.
could be that they think I'm just going out just to leave the house in the middle of the night, like being dramatic and leaving out in the middle of the night and then just going to the gym maybe. But
Or
like,
that you're going to go see a girl.
no, I don't think there's any way they would believe that. Because
Yeah,
I don't tell them about the girl stuff in the first place.
you said you do or do not?
I do not. I haven't told them anything about anything ever.
So you didn't tell them about the next thing we're going to discuss?
I have told them about her, but she's just a friend.
Oh, okay.